Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Real Talk Show brought to you by the Youth Platform. I am your host, Malungo Mwanga, and today we are diving into the topic of the road to the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba, which is the RAHi 2024. I know this is a topic that has been talked about for the past 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm so excited to keep talking about it because it's actually exciting me and making me so happy and looking forward to these events that's going to be taking place. So I am joined by four amazing guests. Five actually, because our sign language interpreter is one of the most important people here. So I'm joined by Miranda Ziba, I'm joined by Mr. Andrew Simata. I'm joined by Mr. Enoch Ntoka, Miss Jennifer Nyambe, and our sign language interpreter, Madam Memory Zulu. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Okay, I
you.
really appreciate that you created time to just come and talk to us about the RAHi 2024. So we can dive right into it. Mr. Enoch Ntoka, you being the heads of programs at TYP, definitely you're the best person I'm going to ask what the theme of the RAHi 2024 is and what we are expecting as the people who are going to be there. So can you just tell us what exactly the theme is and what we expect?
So I want that over to Smarter. Smarter, can you set the ball rolling?
Okay, that's fine, that's fine.
Yeah. Andrew, because Andrew hasn't
Wow.
been on this for some time, so I think we have
Oh,
to get him to talk.
okay. Mr. Andrew, he's handed over the question to you.
Well, for some reason, I'm excited to actually take up this question
Yeah.
because on this show, I'm actually wearing two hats. Um,
Okay.
yeah, as a youth constituency coordinator from the country coordinating mechanism of the Global Fund in Zambia, and also as part of the program's team behind the scenes, trying to build up for the RAHi 2024. And so the theme for this year really is not so far different from the ones that we've had last year and the other year. Remember,
Okay.
last year's theme looked at closing the tap of new HIV infections. So
Okay.
all we've done to the theme is to replace the phrase "closing the tap of new HIV infections" with enhancing prevention
Oh, okay.
through meaningful youth participation, leadership, and innovation. So,
Okay.
so we're basically still sticking to the same theme, except we just went on and just made it
You're
more
spicing it
specific.
up a little bit, yeah?
Precisely. So it's
Yeah,
enhancing prevention through meaningful youth participation, leadership, and innovation.
So for
yeah.
somebody like
So
me, is
yeah,
believe the person
just like Andrew mentioned, is that I think we tried this year around to give it context
yeah,
because uh, crossing the tap is all broad kind of approach. So, but then
yeah,
bringing it home, it's to see how best we can enhance prevention. And we so believe and still believe so that the adolescents and young people being a cadre of a population that is so vulnerable, we feel
mm-hmm.
if brought to the table, they can begin to think on how they can participate in ensuring that they enhance this particular prevention. What are the interventions? What are the new emerging issues? And how can we be able to discuss around the new interventions, new strategies, and what programs can we undertake and led by young people themselves to be able to see the prevention? So, in short, this time around, we want to see how we can walk the talk in terms of closing the tap, but
Oh,
also
yeah.
how can we enhance prevention so that indeed we close the tap. So, it's a build on from what we had in the last endeavors. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually an interesting film. It's really interesting. And just after that, I was about to ask you, like, okay, what am I expecting when I come there? But I'm really glad that you actually just told me what exactly the theme is about and what it's going to be doing. So you saying that is just you really explaining what I am going to expect, or anybody else who's watching is expecting at the RAHi 2024. Our ladies have been quiet. I think I need to open one or two mouths right there. So I'm going to start with Miss Miranda. Are you with us?
Yes, yes, I'm here with you.
Okay, so the RAHi looks at adolescents from everywhere. I know it is a regional Indaba, but we're going to have people who are going to come from everywhere. And so, how exactly does it promote diversity, equity, and inclusion amongst the participants? And what initiatives does the RAHi bring in order to allow this to happen?
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
very much. So, promoting diversity is actually priority for the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba. And so, we have several initiatives that are in place that those will actually speak to how this RAHi promotes diversity. So, I'll speak to representation when we have representation from across the country and Eastern and Southern Africa. That speaks to the diversity that we are looking for. And so we are talking about the inclusion of young people. We have government officials, we have civil society representatives, we have healthcare providers, and even international partners that come in to play a role during the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba. So that is how representation brings in the diversity. We also ensure that we have youth involvement in all aspects. That is from the planning to implementation levels. That is one other aspect we bring in. And we also ensure that there is acceptability of all the participants that are coming, because we want to ensure that the Regional Adolescent Health Indaba is accessible to all participants, regardless of their physical abilities or their special needs. So we ensure that we include or come up with a venue that is easily accessible to every participant, and we
Yeah.
accommodate our participants to ensure that they are able to come in. We have also the inclusion of sign language interpreters, and for those that join us online, we have captions so that they can be able to follow through the entire event. Um, yeah, I would say that. Then we also ensure that we promote gender equality during the event, where we ensure that we just ensure that there's a balanced representation of young people from different areas. Among the speakers, for example, I'll say we ensure that there's a gender equality among the speakers, the people that are coming to sit in as panelists, and even just the participants in general. We ensure that there's a gender sensitive programming that accommodates all of them, and they're incorporated into the agenda that we come up for the event. We come up with for the event, and during the event, as you may be aware, we discuss issues around sexual reproductive health, and also gender-based violence, and also women empowerment in certain sessions, depending on how the sessions are set up. So this brings in gender equality, and I've already mentioned the inclusive programming that we have. And also just to ensure that we have young people coming from different provinces, so that we have the diversity, the young people can come in their diversity. We have different partners that support young people from across the nation. As you know, we will have young people coming from the Eastern and Southern African region, but even here in Zambia, we have young people that are coming from different provinces of Zambia. So that in itself just brings in all the diversity that you may need in an event. Yeah.
It's really amazing that the RAHi is able to just make this platform open for everybody. I love the fact that you actually mentioned people who are physically not okay, like physically handicapped, but they should know that there is no limit to them actually coming to learn. That's actually something that's amazing that
Yes.
the RAHi is providing for the people. Jennifer, I said I'm on the ladies now. You guys need to talk, yeah? Okay, so I hear you actually attended last year's RAHi, right?
Yes, I
Am I
did.
right? Okay, so
Yes.
I would love you to tell me how your experience was attending the RAHi 2023 and what you actually gained from it. Because I think when we get insight of how good something was from before, we know that we want to get something good from it now. So just share with everybody how or what your experience was last year.
So last year was my first time attending the RAHi, and
Okay.
yes, and I had the chance to interact with people from various backgrounds, from all walks of life, and learn more about the role that the youth platform plays in transforming adolescents and seeing to it that they take charge of their own health.
Yeah.
And I also had the opportunity to present the 2023 overview of the provincial health in Dawa.
Wow. Okay. That's
Yes.
actually amazing. That's very encouraging because even for somebody who's watching now and say, "Oh, if Jennifer could actually get this, I think I can be somebody who can actually gain it." So that's really really amazing, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew, back to you. So you are the CCA Youth Constituency Coordinator, right? So can
Yes.
you just explain your role to me? Because at first when I actually saw CCM, I'm like, what's CCM? What is it about exactly? So can you just explain what your role is and how your role actually supports people's participation and decision making generally?
All right, thank you so much. And so I think a good place for me to start would be to probably just explain what CCM is.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. We need that.
yeah, so the CCM is short for Country Coordinating Mechanism.
Oh, okay.
And in this respect, as you're aware, there are a number of coordinating mechanisms, but this particular mechanism coordinates activities and programs on behalf of the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB, and malaria.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's a country level multi-stakeholder partnership that brings together the public and private sector to firstly, coordinate the development and submission of country grant proposals to the Global Fund, and also goes on to provide oversight on program performance or indeed implementation over a period of time. And because it's HIV and AIDS focused, plus malaria, and indeed any other epidemic, it sits, the Secretariat sits at the National AIDS Council, a body that we know is mandated to coordinate the HIV response.
Oh,
So,
okay.
as a youth constituency coordinator, um, my role is basically to carry the youth voices
Oh,
um,
yeah.
during the full assembly meetings and also committee meetings, and always looking out for what would matter to the young people. I do not do this alone, and indeed every other member has an alternate, or what we would call a deputy. In my absence, my alternate, who we apparently are together on this show, Miss Miranda Ziva, would step in, yeah, as and when I may not be available. She will always stand by and step in. So my role basically is to ensure that the youth voices are carried forward, and yeah, and of course um, ensure that there's adequate knowledge, trickling down to the young people around the issues pertaining to HIV/AIDS, TB, and malaria.
Okay, this is actually good. It's actually good. I love the fact that we are pinpointing those three main diseases that have really brought issues in our country. HIV is something that has been there, and we keep fighting, and hopefully in the future we are going to actually combat it. TB, same thing. Malaria, let's not even get there. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that it's actually like that. So now we can read a few comments from the public as we continue with our conversation. So we have one from Enoch Kalimbwe. The inclusivity of RAHi is compared to none. This event always brings people from all walks of life. Cheers to TYP. I'm really happy that actually people are recognizing that. It's amazing. Another one from Brighton, Shimulopwe. It was too good. I can't wait to be part of the coming one. We can't wait to have you, Brighton. We are so excited to have you for this one as well. We have one from Eric Malambo. RAHi is more than just an Indaba. It is a culture that I hope it only gets bigger. It is always exciting to have young people in one place to not only learn from each other, but also engage with decision makers to foster change in social development. Keep up the good work, the youth platform. Thank you so much, Enoch Malambo. We are so happy to know that we are just not bringing out something that's just there for people to attend, but people are actually able to testify and tell us the goods of what the Indaba has done for them in the past years. Mr. Enoch, I just hope you don't post this question to Mr. Andrew again, because now I'm coming in for you. Are you with us? Okay, so what exactly is the timeline for the RAHi event? Because I know as Zambians, whenever we want to come to an event, we want to know the timeline and how we can actually be able to schedule ourselves. So can you just tell us what the timeline for the RAHi event is and what are the key milestones leading to that?
So the actual regional Indaba will take place from the 12th of June to the
Okay.
14th. So that's a period of 3 days, deliberations. And as you've seen from the previous Indabas, so this is a series of large scale sessions where feedback is consolidated, and it is preceded by smaller sessions where the issues are really discussed. Yeah, but
Okay.
prior to that, you know that the roadmap now will have to be from the districts. So there are about 30 districts that we discuss within Zambia. So we hope that even in the other participating countries, we should be able to set up satellite activities that will be similar to the district conversations that we are going to have in Zambia. So much that we can also benefit from those particular country discussions in the other countries. What are the issues that are coming from Kenya, from the rural areas,
Yeah.
peri-urban areas? You know, what are they discussing in Botswana, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and so forth. So we are hoping that we should be able to do that. So the whole period, I think, starts 3 weeks before the actual RAHi is held. So we should be able to climax all that particular feedback and consolidate during the 3 days from 12th to the 14th of June. So the 3 days during the RAHi really is just there to consolidate this feedback and to get the participants in there to just check the facts and all the views that were already expressed in the country conversations. It's a space where, when this feedback is consolidated with the different stakeholders, programmers, and policymakers in place, we should be able to say, okay, this is the position on programming, this is the position on policy, this is the
Yeah.
position on guidelines for service delivery. Indeed, this is the position on the strategies that young people will not only be spectators in the process, but also participants. Because
Yeah.
the youth platform and our partners, we believe that ideas and programs and the strategies that are implemented by young people, they are not only sustainable, but they are also cheap, because you don't need to pay young people to be able to program for them. They
Yeah.
can do this really without money, because even without resources, young people have a way of coming around their own solutions and so forth.
Yeah.
So they have a unique way of networking. Sometimes even without their parents knowing that they're networking, they will be able to network. So we should be
Yeah.
able to take advantage of that particular uniqueness that they possess to be able to design programs and the strategies that work, and that ensures that they have access to services in order for us to enhance prevention, in order to close the tap on new HIV infections. Yeah, so it's 3 days, but there's a whole, 3 weeks that precedes that 3 days in order for us to be able to consult in country, to consult regionally, so that we have formidable feedback within the 3 days of the Indaba. Yep.
Yeah, so, all right, 3 days is a lot. I know it might seem like it's more, but it's a lot in the sense that actually things can happen in those 3 days. You're getting people from different areas, different communities, and putting them in one space. So, Madam Miranda, I think I would need you to give me help in understanding what measures the RAHi usually puts up or prioritizes for the safety and well-being of participants, because I'm a youth. I know how I, as youth, can be, especially being in a place where we are a lot. I think there are certain measures that have to be prioritized in order to keep us safe and all. So, what exactly does the RAHi do to prioritize these safety measures amongst the youth?
All right. Yeah, what you said is really true. I mean, bringing together more than 600 young people in one place from different backgrounds and different locations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need to ensure that safety is top notch and it's your priority. So we put in a number of measures, and the first is the selection of a venue that is secure and safe enough for our participants. So we always ensure we select a venue that meets the standards, and that they should also be able to provide adequate security that we need for us to ensure that we bring in that huge number of people. And for those that are coming in and being accommodated by us, we ensure that there's transport to and from where they are being accommodated. And as I get to the venue, they should be within the premises until the event comes to an end, and they'll be transferred back to where they are lodging. So that is one of the measures that we put in place, and we also ensure that as we are selecting the venue, the security personnel are usually available at the gate to ensure that at the entrance, so that they are there throughout to ensure that they are monitoring and responding to any incidences that may take place. Yeah. So apart from that, we also develop some emergency plans in line with ensuring that everyone is healthy and safe. We have healthcare providers available in the place so that they are able to provide first aid. We had in some of the events we also have Red Cross in place, and they're able to provide first aid during the event on site. And also the medical professionals that I mentioned are also there to assist and provide any assistance that may be needed during the time. We have a sick bay in place to ensure that anyone who needs to take some time off the event can also make use of that sick bay.
Okay.
When it comes to times like COVID-19, if I was to go back to the days of COVID-19, we ensured that there was all those safety measures being taken into consideration during the event. Things like health checks, ensuring that everyone is maxed up, and things like that. Um, Also, just to talk about safety, we are not just looking at safety in terms of the health of the body and the like, but we are also looking about safety in terms of the mental health of someone. Even as they're participating in the event, they should be free to participate. So we ensure that during the event we have safe spaces where participants can easily speak, can be free to speak, and they can also be able to seek support when they need that support. They can be able to rest, and they can also be able to find somebody that is going to help them address their concerns. So we ensure that we have trained staff and we have volunteers that are available on site, and they're able to provide the assistance and support. When we talk about issues of harassment, we have policies in place that ensure that that help us to enforce a strict anti-harassment policy, and we ensure that we follow the codes of conduct so that participants are aware, even as they come in, they're aware and they're informed of the expected behavior. And in instances of harassment, we ensure that we address that promptly, and we create a platform for people to be able to report issues of harassment. And we also find means and ways of ensuring that we also address concerns that come with discrimination and, yeah, just like I said, harassment. So we ensure that even as we do this, we have a confidential reporting mechanism. We
Yeah.
are planning to, we'll have a committee that is in place to manage those things, those issues. And we ensure that all the reports that come in are handled discreetly, and there's investigations that should be done, of course, to ensure that whatever issues are reported are really true. Yeah, so just to mention those few, but of course, there's still a lot more that we can do to ensure the safety of our participants.
Okay, you're actually scaring me because it feels like you are reading my mind. The moment you just mentioned safety in terms of health, I'm like, okay, these guys are just talking about physical health and all. What about our mentality? And then you just came right out and just brought it out there. I really like that. I'm glad that safety is not only surrounded in physical health, but you guys are also looking at the mind, because we don't know what people are actually having mentally when they come. But for the fact that that's been looked at, that's actually like a good thing. So now we might go right into the comments, because a lot of comments keep coming, and definitely we're keeping everybody engaged. So we are definitely going to go up to read some of the comments that are coming through. We have one from Don Chibamba. This is amazing stuff, guys. This is amazing stuff you guys are doing. It brings young people together. Thank you so much, Don Chibamba. We love the fact that you are able to recognize the good that the RAHi is doing. We have JPAC Ni ACC. I would like to be part of this program too. Don't worry, JPAC. Everything is going to be given to you. Information will be given to you on how you can actually be part of the RAHi. We have one from Odita Mono. Looking forward to attend this one. I'm so glad. We are also looking forward to having you there. We have another one from Rebecca Mulenga. RAHi has been one of the biggest platforms where young youths voice out their views on what is affecting them and how they can be helped in addressing the issues affecting young people, such as drug abuse, teenage pregnancies, and peer pressure. The Indaba has not just let young people voice out, but also gives them the chance to be inclusive with others. This sounds like it's coming from somebody who's actually attended this, and they're just telling us how good it has been, telling the people out there who are watching and who haven't attended how amazing the Indara is. I'm really glad that we have people who are coming there. Um, Madam Jennifer, we have left you out for a long time. Come on, this is now your time. Yeah, so I like the previous comment that we got from the previous person, where they just told us what the Indaba does and how it helps young people. And you being somebody who has actually attended that, I would just love you to give me some of the lessons and some of the insights that you took from last year's Indaba. What exactly did you learn that you would love to share with everybody here? Are you still with us, Madam Jennifer? Okay, I feel like she's having a little bit of technical.
Yeah, yeah. So as Jennifer is still coming through, I've seen a comment from Enoch Kalimwe who says it's good to see Jennifer after the last RAHi.
Wow. Okay.
So I think Enoch is talking about the fact that they met with Jennifer at the last Indaba. So for me, that is, I think, a wake up call that one of the reasons why the Indaba is held is not for young people to just interact there and then to forget about it. But I think it presents an opportunity for networking, and
Yeah.
I think it's important that young people and the delegates identify opportunities for synergies, interaction, and also
Mhm.
exchange of ideas beyond the Indaba. Remember, the Indaba just happens for a period of 3 days, but I mean, there's
Yeah.
a whole thing that we can do together beyond the Indaba. Yeah, so I want to encourage Kalimbwe and Jennifer and the other delegates for the Indabas to come to be able to interface, network, collaborate, and interact and create linkages beyond the Indaba. Because I mean, apart from the health aspect that the Indaba discusses, there's a whole range of other life activities that we have to identify with each other, opportunities, and also tap into whatever may be available within the institutions that participate, but also tap into opportunities that come with interacting with individuals. So I thought I should just comment on that particular comment from Kalimbwe. But also, it's good to know that people can be able to identify who attended,
Yeah,
and so that is a new avenue for friendship and future engagements, even among persons. Yeah.
yeah, true.
So, Jennifer,
But Madam Jennifer, you have been identified. This is amazing. This just shows me how active you were in the last year's Indaba, because it's because of you being there and you being active that people are actually able to identify you. So I think you had a little bit of technical difficulty. So Mr. Enoch took in for you, but you can still give us even just one or two lessons that you actually got from last year's Indaba.
All right, thank you very much. So
Okay.
what I got is that the RAHi is sought to identify high quality HIV and SRH interventions in order to decrease HIV, STIs, early marriages, unintended and repeated pregnancies among adolescents. It not only sought out to identify them, but it's also set to address these issues in conjunction with other other organizations, and includes all people from all walks of life.
Okay, that's actually amazing. That's good. I'm glad that you still remember what happened last year, yeah? And you still remember some of the things that you learned last year. That just shows me the impact that these has on people. Mr. Andrew, today we are bothering you with CCM. Trust me, you really just got us there, and I just want to see where you guys are moving at. So, leading to the RAHi 2024, what activities is CCM doing or in the planning of this event?
All right. So that's a very important question, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you for a fact that as CCM we are aware of the roadmap to RAHi 2024, which includes, of course, the hosting of the district adolescent health indabas and the provincial ones. And
Yeah.
so, what that means to us is that in our in our planning, as you might be aware, that our planning is that inclusive by ensuring that all the groupings or constituencies represented have an opportunity to come to a place which we usually would call a provincial dialogue. Each affected constituency is given a session in which to share, uh, their priorities, the challenges, and of course
Yeah.
recommendations, and so on and so forth. So we have already lined up a number of those provincial dialogues, and we hope that once we have the confirmed schedule of Dahais and Pahais from the TYP team and network, then we should be able to see how we can interlink with them in some of those particular engagements.
Okay, that's actually amazing. That's good. And you mentioning the TYP participants, the TYP crew, or those people who come from the TYP. I think now I'm going to come to the heads of programs from TYP and ask you a question because I would just really want to know what the criteria for selecting speakers first. I'll ask you two questions. I hope that's okay. Because I know the RAHI is going to have speakers that are going to be there, the guest speakers. What criteria for selecting speakers and facilitators for these events are there, and how are they chosen? And then the second question is, what benefits are the members of the youth platform? What do they receive? What benefits do they receive during these events when this happens? So I hope you still remember those two questions.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
the criteria that we use for selecting speakers, presenters, and moderators is pretty much aligned with, first of all, these are people that have been involved in the conversation around the adolescent health. So they should be in the space. They understand the different dynamics in terms of policy, new strategies that exist both nationally and regionally, but also they should be predominantly be our partners in the work that we do. So if you have checked from our previous engagement, you would agree with me that most of our moderators and presenters or speakers, they are not far off from the people that we interact with within our
Yeah,
programming.
yeah,
Also, organizations that are members of the network itself are also considered in the that aspect. But also, for moderators being the youth platform, so we endeavor to ensure that young people participate not only as participants, but also they take active roles such as moderation, because we realize that we need to walk the talk. We are saying young people should drive the agenda, so we should be seen to be ensuring that young people participate or moderate
yeah,
sessions, they moderate the activities of the Indaba. So that's pretty much what informs why we are going to have this particular presenter or this particular moderator or this particular discussant at the Indaba. So coming to the issue of the benefits of someone becoming a TYP member, I think there are a lot of benefits that come with being a member of the largest adolescent and youth network in the region.
yeah,
Is that first of all, you by now young people know that we offer opportunities in terms of internship. And you see the youths and young people are in colleges and pursuing different faculties of studies. So TYP stands as that opportunity that provides internship for young people to come and learn the job, whether in programming, accounting, in M&E, and also sometimes service delivery. So when you're a member, there's no negotiation in terms of you being picked for that particular opportunity.
yeah,
We'll straight away pick on you when you have expressed interest to intern, not only with TYP, but also the other partners that work with the TYP. So that's one of the huge benefit that a member gets. But also we have got all these partners that we work with. So even when there's a job, there are partners that have come to us to solicit for, you know, young people with a particular set of skills to intern, to get
yeah,
some opportunities for employment in these all organizations that are members. So wouldn't hesitate to pick on a particular member that we know has been active and they possess a particular skill and competence for that particular job, for that particular opportunity. But also, look at check out this the RAHi. We do have over 500, people that attend. Some of which are
exactly.
employers, organizations. So we provide that opportunity for networking. So even when we are selecting a person that should attend the RAHi, we prioritize the members. And when
Yeah,
members are there, it's a whole range of opportunities for them to network, to interact with people that you would ordinarily not interact with. Can you imagine the PEPFAR country coordinator being at the Indaba, and he is a young person that is part of the Indaba? What an
yeah,
opportunity it is for you to interface face to face, which opportunity you
exactly.
would not get ordinarily, anytime, any day of your life.
It's
The
actually
UN
exciting.
Coordinator, and all these bodies that you just get to hear, UNH, PEPFAR, SAFEDS, UNFPA, and all these
Mm-hmm.
NAC, DG, the Minister of Health, and I can
Exactly.
announce here that most of the people that the Minister of Health uh, promised jobs during the RAHi have been employed by government.
See? Wow,
So
this
that's
is
why,
amazing.
so when you're a member of the QIP, you have that opportunity to be part of the Indaba, and you tap in all the opportunities that come with it. So
Yeah.
just to mention by a few, but I think those are the most key opportunities that come with being a member. So, but it's not
Viewers,
enough to only be a member. You have to be an active member.
active member.
When you're
Yeah,
an
that's
active
true.
member will be able to notice you, and you'll be able to identify you for any of all these opportunities that come with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very glad that certain people are watching right now. Viewers, this is your time to actually become an active member of the youth platform. As you said, it active member of the youth platform, not just being a member. Yeah. So for those who didn't know, or for those who are not aware, the RAHi magazine is out. So you're going to relive RAHi 2023 with inspiring stories, events, recaps, and more. Get a copy today by visiting our youth platform, where a link will actually be there, and the link will actually be displayed right here on how you can get a soft copy of the RAHi magazine. That will just help you to know what happened last year, and just be indulged and just be there and read about the RAHi yourself. Yeah. So we're also going to read through some comments. We have more comments coming in today. People are really active. Yeah, I feel like the Rahai will actually be packed because people are excited to attend this event. So I'm going to read a few comments from our viewers on Facebook. This one is coming from Nyundo Catherine. The last Rahai I attended was quite amazing. Had learned a lot from other young people from different parts of the country. It's really nice to have youths in one space where we are free to express ourselves and interact with others. Thank you so much, Nyundo. This other one is coming from it's Kelly Lopez. The Indaba is the most great event ever that touches our lives. We get to be tested by different departments, for example, cervical screening, HIV test, etc. And we get motivated to be part in the participation because number of youth are doing that, and we don't get to be discriminated. It's like a free space and a friendly space. Oh my God, this comment just literally got me by heart, because it's amazing that people are actually realizing that it's a free space. We have another one from Ellen Wape talking about members of the youth platform. Is there anything like okay, sorry, let me just reread that. Talking about members of the youth platform, is there anything like you pay the same amount of money for you to be fully a member, or it's just okay without making any payment? So if I can just rephrase that, Ellen is just simply asking if there's any amount of money you're supposed to pay to be a member of the youth platform, or you can actually just join without making any of those payments. I think we can get a very good answer from Mr. Enoch.
Yeah,
On
so like any other membership organization, we require some kind of membership fee. That
okay.
membership fee is not really a criteria that we use to determine who becomes a member, but you see, we ask for commitment. So for us to be able to know that you're committed to the ideals and agenda of the youth platform,
Yeah,
you have to show it by uh, paying a particular fee, which
yeah,
fee I think is being revised. And those that wish to be members, we should be announcing that particular fee. So any day when you think that you should be able to find out information about that fee, you can access our website or our Facebook page. You have a link that takes you to the membership avenue where you can be able to get that, and we'll be able to guide you. Yeah. So, like I said, the membership fee is not really something that should determine your relationship with TYP. We have a lot of
yeah.
members that have not contributed in mandatory. but they have been able to bring something to the table, an idea, your commitment, and you show just interest in participating in any of our programs, you become a member. So that's just there for us to show that we are
Okay.
actually committed to what we do. Yeah, yeah. So it shouldn't be a limitation. So fill in that form through our website. There's a form there. State why you want to become a member, what you bring to the table. We'll be able to take you on board, and before you know it, you're our member.
Okay, okay, that's amazing. So, the answer is there for those who had that question. You can actually be a member. Membership fee is not really something that should come and disturb your brain. It's just going to help to show commitment. So, I'll read another comment coming from Foster. RAHi lies impactful information, intervention, solutions for all communities on issues affecting different individuals. HIV and AIDS, mental health issues, teenage pregnancy. My desire to learn about UHC, which is universal health coverage. How adaptive can we be as young people and flexible to issues in finding solutions? So Foster is just simply trying to tell us what RAHi is able to do for people and simply the benefits of RAHi in short. Again, another one from Foster. I applied for the RAHi but never got an email. Guys, he applied for RAHi but never got an email
So
back.
I
It
want
is
I
my
want to actually respond to that.
it
Can
is
I
my
respond to
zeal to
that?
be part of the RAHi because there is a lot and loaded information to impact my district from what I am to learn from great minds. So, TYP, we have trouble here. Why is someone applying and doesn't get an email back?
So there are many reasons as to why we would not get back to the applicants.
Okay.
But I mean, we have gotten the consent from Foster. So want to inform Foster that we receive quite an overwhelming number of applicants
Yeah.
in thousands and hundreds. Yeah, so sometimes our team is overwhelmed in terms of responses, but I think that is a wake up call. We will endeavor to make sure that we provide that feedback. But I think it brings out an aspect of not having been picked. So I think in answering the question on membership and the opportunities, I touched a bit on the priorities
Yeah.
that we do set and who becomes a priority participant in our Indaba. But also one of the criteria for selecting participants, we highly recommend for those that are part of particular, institutions like young people that are working with Minister of Health in different health programs or maybe attached to the clinics. But that is not to say ordinarily a young person do not attend. So we encourage Foster to apply again for this Indaba, and I'll personally look out for his name and see how he would have applied so that I can be able to provide that feedback. So Foster will
Yeah.
provide that feedback to you this time around, and I hope to see you at the Indaba for 2024. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have, just lastly, for those people who think the Indaba is soon and the Indaba, I haven't received my email back. The selection for 2024 has not yet been done. So no one has been communicated to yet. So don't worry. We are still diving into trying to select people who are going to come. And once the selection is done, people will actually receive their feedback. So just relax, don't panic. The process is still ongoing. So yeah. Madam Miranda, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's been a great show so far.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love the fact that you like it.
Mhm.
So we have certain people who won't be able to make it to the RAHi, definitely maybe because they come from very far places. Um transport issues. There's just so much that goes on when it comes to traveling to Lusaka to attend this event. So for those
Mhm.
who can attend the RAHi in person, will the event be live streamed on the TYP program? Is there going to be something else that these people can actually do in order to attend the program?
Oh yes,
Yes.
definitely. The RAHi is not restricted to physical participation only, but we will have the RAHi live streamed on all our TYP platforms.
Okay.
As you may be aware, we have a YouTube channel, we have a Facebook page, and we are also on Twitter. So the RAHi will be live streamed on these platforms. So anyone can easily join in and engage remotely. They don't have to be there physically, and
Okay.
they'll be able to access all the content that will be shared during the RAHi on in real time. And they can also request for certain content that may not be available on the platform. Yeah, so we want to ensure that as we have this RAHi going on, we reach a wider audience, and we want to also ensure that it's accessible to all anyone that is interested or interested parties can be able to access the RAHi through the various platforms that we're using to stream live. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
it's not limited to physical. So if you're not selected, feel free to join through the live streams and yeah, just be part of the RAHi
okay.
virtually. Yeah.
And so the RAHi is open to everybody, guys. Whether you're going to be there with us physically, you can still catch us virtually, Facebook, as our Miss Miranda just explained to us right now. So I'm going to have one last important question to Miss Jennifer. Miss Jennifer, I'm back to you. The person who's been identified as being there at the 2023 RAHi. This is actually amazing. It makes me so happy that something like that is being pointed out. So, what exactly are your expectations for this year's RAHi, Jennifer? I just want you to give us what you expect to find at this year's RAHi.
Okay, so my expectations for this year's RAHi is to see more youths take part, whether physically or virtually, take part in this life-changing experience. Because I would say the RAHi is the voice for the voiceless.
Sorry about that. I was having
Magongo. Yeah.
Sorry, I was having a bit of technical difficulties, but I'm back. Okay, I'm glad that that's what you're expecting. The RAHi should be able to be the voice of the voiceless. Yeah, I still got you there. My technical
Have you
difficulties.
noticed that our sign language interpreter has disappeared? It's unfortunate.
I actually did. Our networks are giving us headaches these days. But what can we do? We have to live with them. Yeah. So I think we've come to the end of our program. I'm very glad that you people have been able to just give the people an insight of what the RAHi is about. We just haven't talked about what we're expecting in the 2024 RAHi, but we have also taught them about the 2023 RAHi and how amazing it was. And it's so good that we're getting comments from people actually backing our statements, because we are just not saying from without, we are getting information from the people who are actually there. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending the show. Okay, Mr. Andrew, you have one last thing to say?
Yes, yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
I was just laughing to myself when Mr. Ntoka was trying to, recount the number of stakeholders that are present during
Yeah.
the RAI. And right in front of him is the Global Fund. It's the Global Fund
Yeah.
Administrator who
Mm-hmm.
has
Mm-hmm.
been consistently present at the RAI, and we're coming to this particular one. And just to also note that, just to emphasize that we value RAHi as CCM because we treasure in feedback.
Yeah.
Remember, there's there's all these programmatic activities taking place around interventions towards prevention, treatment, and care. But if we don't get the feedback, and especially from one of the most key and affected group, like the adolescents and young people, it would be unfortunate. So when we have an opportunity like this one, we put it as of foremost important. So thank you
Yeah.
so much again for according the CCM an opportunity to say one or two things. Thank you.
All right. Oh, thank you so, so much, Mr. Toka. Next time when you're mentioning those stakeholders, let's not leave the global funders. Eh? It's
Yeah.
important. It's very
So the
important.
privilege we have on this show is that the Global Fund is right here. So I mean, why not to speak for themselves?
Yeah, so we've come to the end. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to our show. We hope to see most and many more applications for the 2024 RAHi, because this RAHi or this Idaba is going to be something that's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. It's going to help the adolescents. It's going to help the youth in all aspects, in networking, in just bringing yourself out there and just getting to interact with different youth and understanding what we actually facing in line with HIV and AIDS and everything that's going to be talked about. I was your host, Malungo Mwanga, and it was amazing to have you guys on the show. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank
Have a good
you.
afternoon.
Thank you.